If you do these 10 things, he'll never, ever stray. Falling in love with someone is one thing. Keeping them in love with you is quite another. Relationships are fun and wonderful, but they take effort and care to keep the flame alive. If you truly love a man, you most likely want to keep him in love with you as well. You can, however, strengthen your relationship so that when tough times come, you won't have to worry about your spouse going to someone else. They will rally around you, since you are their closest friend, as well as their lover. If you do the following 10 things, he will never, ever stray. 1. Make sure you're speaking the same love language. Dr. Gary Chapman pioneered a method of thinking about communication in relationships that has changed the way many people view love. I'm not going to go through everything he's written about, but here's a summary. People express and accept love in different ways. If he expects to receive love in a different way than you choose to display it, he may feel as if he isn't receiving any from you. This is a vital concept because realizing that people express and accept love in various ways might reveal the root of problems with your relationships. The other crucial concept is that people like to receive love in the same way that they prefer to give love. That is, if he enjoys showing you love via thoughtful gifts, instead, he equally enjoys getting love through thoughtful gifts. If you try to express him love with lovely words, it won't be nearly as significant to him as if you bought him a thoughtful gift, because you won't be speaking his love language. So try to love him in the same manner he loves you, and he will feel much more loved and cherished by you. In turn, this will rekindle and enhance his feelings for you. 2. Never go to bed angry. Everyone urges you to focus on your communication skills, and they are crucial to having a good relationship. Adults with their own perspectives, on the other hand, will ultimately disagree, sometimes strongly. The trick is to address it before it becomes a relationship killer. Make a rule between the two of you. You will solve it before going to bed. Even if you have to agree to disagree and debate it later, when calmer heads may be able to see all perspectives, don't let it linger. 3. Make some good deposits in the relationship by giving some compliments. Stephen Covey gave a parable regarding the value of emotional deposits in relationships in his classic book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He says that, like a bank account, successful relationships thrive when there are more deposits than withdrawals. In other words, you have more pleasant interactions with someone than bad ones. Deposits may be as simple as saying thank you for picking up your clothing at the dry cleaners or asking how his day went. When we criticize more than we appreciate, we harm the relationship and frequently leave it irreparable. When problems come out, and they will, your relationship is overdrawn. An overdrawn account makes it difficult to get a commitment or cash. The relationship becomes one-sided, with just one person giving. Waiting until it's time to complain before making that deposit also doesn't work. That is known as manipulation, and it is transparent to the other person. Everyone enjoys being told thank you for what they do, even if it's only housework. 4. Keep the relationship fresh. For your next date night, try out a different restaurant. Take a day trip to somewhere you've never been before. Make new memories rather than replaying old ones. It will make your relationship seem new and exciting again, which will strengthen your love and remind you both why you fell in love with each other in the first place. You may even attempt to master fresh skills together. Take a cooking class together or train for a marathon, even if you've never run one before. It will add fresh experiences to your lives as a couple. 5. Practice forgiveness. When a loved one does something damaging, it is natural to feel resentment, wrath, and blame. However, without forgiveness, little problems and betrayals may rip a relationship apart. People who do not forgive frequently find it difficult to preserve pleasant feelings for their relationships. Partners who move toward forgiveness, on the other hand, are better equipped to sustain their relationship because they make a conscious decision not to concentrate on their partner's mistakes. 6. Don't get too comfortable. Being in love is lovely and fun, but it also requires effort to maintain those feelings. Make time for date nights no matter how busy you are. Remind him how much you love him even when you're not in the best mood, and make your everyday life as a couple seem special. This helps your partner feel loved and appreciated, pushing him to crave your attention. Perhaps you've been really busy at work lately. Call him during your 10-minute break to convey that you're thinking about him despite the job stress. "I just wanted to tell you how much I miss you," you may say. "I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight." 7. Make time for sex and physical intimacy. This might make you both feel more connected. Talk about your interests and try new things together. Avoid falling into the same sex routine. Instead, explore to keep things interesting. It might help you deepen your relationship and remember the passion that drew you both together in the first place. Never feel pressured to have sex with your spouse. There are several ways to feel connected to your spouse, and sex is only enjoyable if both of you actively want to engage. 8. Practice deep listening. Deep listening is a method of listening to our partner in which we are totally present in the moment with the person speaking and do not try to judge or control the discussion. We let go of our preconceived notions in order to hear what is being said. We are listening for the speaker's emotions, motivations, needs, and ambitions. Most of us have moments when our minds wander and we don't remember what we said at the end of a discussion. This is something I have done several times. I struggled with resisting the impulse to respond before the other person had even finished speaking. That was because, rather than listening, I assumed I already knew what they were going to say and the solution, and wanted to go on to something else. Deep listening, on the other hand, helps us put our partner's feelings into perspective, which isn't necessarily the same as what he's saying. 9. Let him know that you're grateful for him. When you feel taken for granted, it's difficult to stay in love. Always express your gratitude for the relationship, just for fun. Write him a love note to tuck in his lunch before work and tell him how much he means to you. Actively show appreciations as often as possible to make him feel valued and loved by you. It will strengthen his feelings in return. You might use phrases like, "I'm so grateful to have you." "You know how to make me laugh even on my most awful days," or "I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here. You add so much to my life." Or else, "I really appreciate that you made me breakfast this morning," or "I really appreciate how hard you work." 10. Build him up and don't put him down. Do not mock him or make him feel awful about himself. As your relationship grows, you may become aware of his imperfections or peculiarities. Don't taunt him about things he can't control, and don't make him feel guilty in front of his friends and family. Instead, tell him why you think he's the best, especially if he's down. Your help will mean the world to him and keep him in love. After a difficult day at work, say something like, "I'm not sure what your boss is on about. I've seen you deal with customers, and you're always kind and responsive to their needs." Well, that's all about it. Thanks for watching.